Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on April 21st, 2026, just 2 days ago. Well, it finds that while most current large language models can write code that compiles, they often fail to create games that actually work. Yet this new system achieves a 20% success rate on a playability metric, where others scored near zero. The paper is titled PlayCoder, Making Large Language Model Generated Graphical User Interface Code Playable. And as we'll see later, the implications for using automated testing to fix silent logic bugs are quite significant. And for those interested in the implementation, the authors have shared their code on GitHub. Alright, Figure 1 illustrates the core problem of silent logic bugs in code generated by large language models. A logic bug is a flaw where the software runs without crashing, but it fails to follow the intended rules, like collision detection. The top right panel shows a version from a human programmer where hitting a pipe correctly ends the game. However, the bottom right panel shows code from GPT-4o Mini where the bird passes straight through the obstacle. So, while Figure 1 showed the failure mode, Table 1 details the extensive dataset used to test these models, which includes 43 projects across 6 categories. This table lists metrics like cyclomatic complexity, a measure of how many decision paths exist in the code, and nesting depth, which tracks how many layers of logic are inside each other. Overall, the Playable benchmark covers about 188,000 lines of code, showing that it targets real-world complexity rather than simple snippets. Figure 2 outlines the structure of a single data instance within the Playable benchmark. Being repository-aware means the model is given context about the entire project folder, which helps it understand how different files interact. So the input section on the left combines a natural language requirement with the repository tree. This dataset includes over 4,200 instances, aiming to produce the reference code shown on the right while maintaining playable logic. Figure 4 presents the full PlayCoder framework, which coordinates several specialized agents in a closed loop to generate and test code. The top orange section houses PlayDeveloper, the agent that searches the repository to generate initial code candidates. Well, below that, the blue section features PlayRefiner, which uses visual feedback to detect logic errors. If a test fails, feedback is sent back to the start to trigger automated program repair, a process where the model automatically fixes its own mistakes. Table 3 provides a detailed performance breakdown for PlayCoder across 3 different large language models and 3 programming languages. The Play at 3 metric, which measures if at least one of 3 generated code versions is playable without logic errors, reveals a major gap between different methods. While Figure 4 showed the repair process, this table confirms that PlayCoder consistently achieves the highest scores. For example, looking at Python, PlayCoder with the QN3 coder model reaches about 19% on playability, whereas most baselines struggle to reach 10%. This success is visible in the bottom PlayCoder row for every language tested. Well, Table 6 expands the analysis by comparing 10 different large language models across 3 programming languages. JavaScript consistently emerges as the strongest performer, with leading models reaching about 44% execution rates, which measure how often the code runs without immediate errors. Even though TypeScript shows a slight dip, the playability scores remain significantly higher than the original baselines. This broad comparison confirms that the repair framework is effective across many different model architectures. So, PlayCoder shows that code which runs correctly can still fail to follow the rules of a game. By using visual feedback to catch errors in graphical user interfaces, this framework establishes a more reliable way to build interactive software. That's it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Thanks for listening.